grow, still can't stop it.
What is up? I am Crypto Mason, and welcome back to the Crypto Mason YouTube channel. Shout out to the Gold Squad. We look for gold in every single aspect of our lives, and we always find it. Now today, we are back for another daily market update. Market is in shambles right now. The S&P 500 is in shambles. The Dow Jones is in shambles. Everything is just seemingly in shambles here. But one thing I can tell you is that adoption is like this, right? That is what we actually care about, is the adoption of our cryptocurrencies and our NFTs is a straight up only line. It's an up only bull run chart completely, right? There is no lacking in adoption of adoption. Is that, yeah, that's right? All right, make sure that you're following me on Twitter before we get into this. Also follow the Gold Squad on Twitter right here, Gold Squad 777, and then NFT Mason on Twitter as well. Once we hit 20K on here, we will be giving away an H-Bar Punk NFT. Very cool. So we're at 1.48 trillion. Like, I feel like every time I'm going to get on here this week, we're just going to be lower and lower, dude. So $32,000 Bitcoin, down 6.33% in 24 hours. Ethereum exactly the same, 6.38% in 24 hours. I was saying yesterday on my live stream, if Ethereum gets to $1,000 or $800, where some people predict it will get, and you guys are not buying, something's up. Because if Ethereum goes to $800, do you know how many freaking Ethereum I'm buying? I'm buying a lot. Like, I'm buying like a boatload of Ethereum, whatever that means. But we also have BNB down, XRP down, despite some pretty good news we'll talk about later in the video. So 2 pieces of good XRP news, but the price still goes down, of course. Solana at $69, Dogecoin at 11 cents right there. One thing that is not going down that much is Near. We're still at $10 on Near. I believe there are what I call price guardians on Near. The Near price guardians are not letting this thing go further than $10 down, even though in February it did go to $8, $9. If it goes back there, I'm stacking some Near again. So let's get into like what's happening right now. Blockchain Backer says the Dow Jones officially pierces the lows from February. This is horrible, right? Lows from February. Dow Jones is down. S&P 500 is down 2.69% just today. And then in the past 5 days, it's down 3.55%. And of course, Bitcoin, as we can see, measured from all-time high right here to the current day, we are officially down more than 50%. Now, usually a bear market is like 70, 80, 90% down. Everything, every coin. Like, every project is 70 to 90% down. We're currently 50% down on Bitcoin. Okay? Now, a ton of people have had this argument that this time is different in that we won't be hitting these 70, 80, 90% down. We'll just be hitting 50 to 60, right? And I've been a believer in that just because there's so much hype around crypto. It is bigger than ever. There's more institutional involvement than ever. But we're going to have to see, because if we measure this again, like if we plan to go 80% down from all-time high, that would be, right, 80% is basically 14K. So if this turns out to be a standard like bear market move, we're going to 80% down from all-time high right there. That would be $15,000 Bitcoin. Personally, I believe that the lowest Bitcoin will go is like bouncing off 20K. If Bitcoin goes below 20K, dude, it's over for this thing. I'm serious. There's no reason why this thing should go below the 2017 all-time high. If it does that, dude, I'm like, I will never tell anybody ever again to buy Bitcoin. Actually, that's when I should be telling them to buy Bitcoin in case it goes back up, you know? But I just think it's too weak. Like, I would buy Ethereum, because if Bitcoin ends up below 20K, imagine what Ethereum will be at. Ethereum will be at like $1,500, $1,000, and that is what I'm scooping up instead of Bitcoin. So there's my little thoughts on Bitcoin, man. This thing, we did break into this range, right? We did break into this. I think this might be the new range coming up here, 30K. Probably going to go down and touch 30K, bounce off of it, and then bounce around in here for a little bit, and then probably go, hopefully not. Hopefully we do not break past 30K, like to the downside. I would not like that. So there's my thoughts on Bitcoin, man. Just hold tight. You know, like I was telling you for the past 3 months to be taking profit. Here's some other insight I tweeted out this morning. The real winners will be the ones who stay paying attention despite how horrible the market gets. My biggest regret ever in crypto was stopping paying attention in 2018/2019 after the big crash. I will not let this happen again. I will absolutely not let that happen again. I will be here on your screen making videos until this market either blows up in our face or revolutionizes the whole world completely. I will be here making videos about it. I will also be investing in it forever. So let's talk a little bit about what just happened. And I predicted this. I predicted exactly what the Instagram NFT integration is going to be. As you can see, there is a new tab for NFTs right beside the reels and the posts. Now, I've literally said this a million times across all platforms, right? If you guys have heard me say this probably a lot. And I just made a TikTok yesterday and saying my message to Zuckerberg, it's right here. My message to Zuckerberg was, yo, make this, make it how I want it, right? I was pointing out, like, look at my finger. Put the tab right here, and it looks like it is going to be exactly that. So he has listened to my video. Also in May 22 of 2021, I said, I want to see NFTs and Spotify integrate directly with Instagram. Give me a tab on my profile where I can show off my NFTs as well as the music I listen to. Okay. Now look at these idiots. Why are you trying to integrate the old guard who hoard us out for years into our new tech? Stop. You're missing the entire reason crypto is here. Yeah, but we can't just leave behind like 3 billion people who will never get on board with crypto. Because there are in fact billions of people who don't want anything to do with crypto. So therefore, we need to take their shit, which they live on Instagram, they live in online banking, slow-ass banking, they live in Web 2. And we need to go into Web 2, and we need to convert their stuff that they use to Web 3, and just they need to deal with it, right? So a little bit more on this. We have this platform called SoCall. So this is exactly what I'm saying. SoCall is being put out as a Web 2.5. So Web 2 and Web 3, it's right in between it. And basically this just raised This just raised $100 million, and they don't even have a product. They don't even have a product. Pre-product, they have $100 million valuation. This is made by Irene Zhao, and she making an influencer platform called SoCall. And here it is, right? Very cool, like very branded, vaporwave branding, very cool. But this is basically, they're bridging the gap, Web 2 and Web 3. Everybody's doing that. Social collectibles. Use social collectibles to become a part of your favorite creators community. So this is like what everybody's doing, right? Everybody's doing this. And in my opinion, I don't like the name of this. SoCall. Like, you have a dash in your name. It's like SoCall? Like SoCall? How do I say it? SoCall? I don't know. Doesn't flow nicely to me. But this is one to keep an eye on if they ever launch a token or anything. But everybody's trying to do this. Like, everybody's trying to do this creator community, fresh new platform when I think we just need things like this to happen where the Web 2 platforms turn into Web 3 platforms. But unfortunately, they will remain centralized. Let's talk about the XRP good news right here. We do have some XRP good news, starting with Japan's first XRP payment support on the e-commerce site by SBI Motors Japan. They export about 5,000 used cars annually, mostly to Africa. This website is the SBI Group website. This was in Korean. I had to translate it. I think it's Korean. No, sorry. Oh my goodness, Japanese. I'm sorry. Wow. There's a lot of XRP and Korea stuff. That's why I thought it was. But basically, they're accepting XRP payments for these cars right here on SBI Motor Japan. So you guys can hop on here and actually buy cars and stuff for... you can buy cars and stuff for XRP and Bitcoin. So XRP and Bitcoin, that's the thing. They're accepting both. So super interesting. Some good news there. Also, oh, so this is the same thing. Sorry, I thought there was two pieces of good news here. But this is funny. Stefan says, I found out why we're dropping because XRP had some good news. At this point, Ripple could come out and say that they guarantee that the US government, that the entire world is going to use XRP, and the price would still dump. They could come out and say, we guarantee that everybody's going to use it in 2 years, and the price would still dump. That's where we're at with XRP. A little bit more from Ripple. Susan Friedman is joining the Digital Pound Foundation panelists to discuss how a digital pound could facilitate greater financial inclusion. We also have this dude called Noriel, who railed against stablecoins backed with anything. But now, no, sorry. He railed against stablecoins backed with anything but 100% dollars for years. And he is now introducing his own stablecoin backed by gold and real estate. So this little idiot right here, I hate this, dude. I hate when they rail against it and then they just do it, right? And look what he's saying. He's railed against Bitcoin. He's railed against stablecoins, right? He called Bitcoin the mother of all bubbles. And now look what he's saying. Our goal is to create a global store of value. This is something akin to a substitute for treasuries or a digital asset that has payment features in it. You're an idiot. Why would you rail against this and now you're just going to try to do it? Your shit is going to fail because you railed against it. So this guy, I don't like these people, dude. I don't like these people. These old people who rail against this stuff and then they just adopt it. I hate it, dude. I hate it. It irks me so much. But good luck to this dude with his stablecoin. Stablecoins are a dime a dozen. There must be some benefit to just running a decentralized stablecoin that I'm not aware of. Like, can they loan against it or something like that? I don't know. Now, Do Kwon is going to be selling Bitcoin. He clarified the case where they could potentially buy using UST only to create the illusion of balance and normalcy in the situation. The reality is his hand is forced at this point and he is in crisis management. So people are thinking Do Kwon is going to sell Bitcoin and that's going to further dump the price. It's facts, probably. We also got Hasaka right here. Saka Trades. All of a sudden, people are having a eureka moment, realizing most of the decentralization bit is smoke and mirrors. Most of you have never seen how voting on a DeFi protocol that Andreessen Horowitz has invested in usually goes, and it shows. This is such a good insight right here. It's like all of a sudden, people are having a eureka moment that decentralization barely exists. Yeah, it barely exists. Argue with it. You can't. Because most of you, and then he says basically the DeFi protocols that Andreessen are in, because they own like a shitload of these DeFi protocols, like the voting on there, they just have the majority vote. It's just not decentralized. How is that? Like, real decentralization is extremely hard to get. and it is corrupted. Now, the final thing we'll cover here is the crypto exchange Binance gets a French regulatory nod. So, like, yeah, go ahead. So, is that good enough, right? They got a French regulatory nod, and this is good news for all exchanges. If you guys want a good hedge against the exchange regulation, get into LCX at 8 cents right here. LCX is a very good buy right now, in my opinion. This probably is going to keep going down. Basically, anything I say that is a good buy right now is probably going to keep going down. So be prepared to just dollar cost average into this. My dollar cost average strategy is like this. I wake up in the morning. I scroll through the market. Wow, Hedera's at 11 cents. That's extremely undervalued. Do I have disposable income to throw into Hedera right now and stack more bags? Oh, I do. Let me put some into Hedera. $1,000, $500, whatever, $2,000, whatever. Throw it in. I don't have these reoccurring buys, right, where I'm setting it up to where every week it's buying a certain amount. Even though that's good for like the lazy person, but I'm here every day on the market. I can afford to sit here and look at the whole market and see what's undervalued and then put money in. That is all we got for the daily market update. I'm praying for all of us, right, that we can stay strong through this horrible market. It's going to get tough. If we go to the 70, 80, 90% down, that's going to be so horrible. But I'll be here. I'll be here. So make sure you're following on Twitter, Instagram, join the Telegram group. I love every single one of you, and goodbye.
Please.